Hi guys, welcome to Carp Shed. My name's Lee Power, Team Catch and Release. Today I'm going to show you a quick spod mix. I'm going to a lake shortly. I've never fished the lake, it's a small lake. I think I'm probably going to be a bit out of my comfort zone with regards to a 2-acre lake having over 20 pegs, but my mate's going there. I'm popping down just to spend the day with him, so here goes. I've got a party blend, mixed particles. That's going to form the base of the spod. Before I start, everything's going in a bucket. So look at this. So that's the base. You can use it on its own, but I'm going to add quite a few other things just to bulk it up. So this, I think they're about £9 for the bottle. So that's what's in there. Various seeds, a bit of hemp. So that's the basis. Sweet corn, 2 of those, chickpeas, and the juice. Right, I've not used these before, but black-eyed beans, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong if the carp don't like them, but they like most seeds and pulses. So got 2 of those going in. Tuna, I'd probably prefer to use sunflower oil this time of year. It's the summer, but they didn't have any, so that's in brine. 2 of those. Some chili flakes, now I'm not really sure when I get there whether the fish are going to be on the bottom, on the top, or I've not even looked at the weather to see what the pressure is yet, so I'm going to put some coconut milk in. That'll create a cloud, so if I do decide to fish zigs, what I'll do is I'll put some of the spod through a crusher, and then it will stay suspended for longer. So that's going in now. Courtesy of John's Carp Shed last week, I picked myself up some of this. So I've never used it, but a good dose of that. Like he said, he's a chef, so he should know. Last but no means least, some sea salt, so a little bit of that. And then I've also got some dehydrated boilies from a few weeks ago. All the sugars have come to the top and they're actually pretty rock hard, so I'm going to, instead of wasting them, they're going to go in as well. Over the course of tonight, everything will soak into each other. The boilies will soak up all the moisture as well, and they'll actually become soft again. So that's everything. Just try and get you an angle on what I'm doing now. I'm not at the lake, so I don't want to get all stinky, so I've got a scoop, which is really handy. So, mix it all together. She smells quite nice. I think it's the onion gravy I can smell. I'll resist temptation of eating anyway, at least for now. So that's the finished spod. Okay, so what I'll do when I get to the lake, this will have a lot of the moisture will be gone, and it'll all be drawn into the various bits and pieces, especially the boilies. They'll all swell back up to 18 mil. I think they're about 15 at the minute. If it is still too runny, I've got some bloodworm ground bait that I'll add to that just to get the consistency right, so that I can get it out with the spod. And that's my mix. So okay, so the thought behind using a spod mix or a mix like this, I'll find an area or a spot, whether it's the fish waving at me or just a likely area I think that fish will be patrolling. The nature of the spod is to cast it out accurately over a tight area, and it's to draw the fish in and draw the fish down to the bottom. Obviously if I have seen them near the surface, or I think they're in the upper layers and I'm zig fishing, and I'll like I said before, I'll put it through the crusher first, and I'm actually trying to keep the fish where they are, doing it that way. But if I'm fishing on the bottom, all this will go down on the bottom, fish will patrol over, they'll come across the cloud. If I don't know if the water's clear or not, they may even see it. That will draw the fish down. Hook bait options, there's quite a few that are already in the mix. Obviously I've got the two different colour boilies from the contrast, a couple of chickpeas possibly, but more than likely I'll either go with contrast rig neutrals. They've got some cork dust to take the weight away of the hook, or to match the corn, some very bright pop-ups, whether I tip a little boiler or just have one of these. I probably won't have it hovering over the bait at all, so that's my hook bait options. But again, until I get to the lake, I'll assess it for what it's worth. So it's called a spod mix because it gets sent out in a spod. I'll fill that up with bait to about there, push it down just to make sure no bit's going to fly out, and then I'll have my line clipped in the reel at the distance that this is from me to the spot, so I can't overcast. I could also use a spom or a bait boat, or I could make the mix a lot firmer and actually make it into balls. Rig wise, because of the nature of fishing on a tight bed of bait, the fish are going to be not moving around very much at all. I'm hoping to draw fish in and just have them feed on the spot, whereas in comparison to boilie fishing where you've got a spread of baits, the fish are moving around in that situation. So because they're feeding on a tight area, this will be my chosen rig for the bottom, which is just a coated material, a little bit stripped back to form a hinge. I've actually tied this with the coating straight through, and then I don't know whether you can see that concertinaed. I've just pulled a bit back so it leaves a kicker without having to use shrink tubing, and then the supple part of the hair, which I've got a few of these tied up, so I'll make a loop to suit the bait. So that's the rig on a lead clip. I'll probably have, with the size of the lake, and I'm presuming this, I think it's a bit of a match, more of a match lake. It's caught to £20. I'll be fishing 2 rods. I'll probably fish one bang in the middle of the bait and one just off it. So that's the rig. With regards to the life span of the spod mix, I'm fishing tomorrow on this lake, which is what I've made the mix up for primarily. I'm also doing 2 nights, Wednesday and Thursday of next week, so the bait will still be fine to use for then. No doubt I will use all that bucket by then. If for any reason I've got quite a bit left over from the end of the second session, or if I was just using it for the one session, you can actually freeze it. I used to make, when I was spodding quite a lot, I used to make quite a lot up, and then with the jars that you get with the party mix or the hemp, actually fill them back up with my complete spod mix and freeze them. And I used to keep, you know, half a dozen in the freezer, and then they're just there ready. I'd probably only refreeze them once, and like I say, you've got about a week before stuff starts turning, and you know, I prefer it to be fresh, but I do recommend doing it the night before, because then it gives everything a chance to soak into each other, and when it's out on the lake bed, because it's drawn in as far as it can, it's just pumping out all that attraction, all that smell for longer, and it's not going to wash off the boilies when it's going through the water. So yeah, I'd recommend if you can, doing it the night before, and then just, if you're using a lot, top it up. Those tubs are quite handy just to have in the car, so you can just add one of them, you can add some more corn or etc. So that's my chosen Spod mix. It varies from time to time. I generally buy a tub from the tackle shop and then just go down to the supermarket and, you know, see what's there. There's ample internet pages with people talking about what carp like with regards to natural bait. I think that's where most of my knowledge has come from with what goes into a Spod mix. I have actually checked if black-eyed peas go down well. Apparently they do, so fortunate for me. Any questions, contact the Angling Gazette on the link below, or hashtag Team Catch and Release, Carp Shed on Twitter. There's various other methods you can contact us if you've got any questions. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you maybe learnt something. Maybe it's put a couple of parts that you're unsure about to rights. And thanks for watching.